Hello. Hello. Are you hearing me?
Good night. Are we?
Okay, I'm not sure what's happening. If you can hear me, let me know because I'm not sure if the internet is on my side or it's on her side. Okay, in any case, good evening, guys. Just trying to figure out what's going on here with the internet. Um, I'm pretty sure Charmaine will be back shortly. Maybe it's a glitch over on her side. Okay, so you guys are hearing me. All right. Okay then. Give me 1 second. Let me try and figure out what's going on her end. We'll be back shortly. I'm not good at this. The hosting stuff. That's all her. I'll be right back. Hey guys, okay. Charmaine is experiencing some Wi-Fi difficulties. Well, not really Wi-Fi, but the computer started to act up. All these things. So she's busy switching devices now. So she should be back on shortly. So don't go anywhere. And if you know anybody that was on but came off, please tell them come back on. It was no fault of ours, but we know how these things go sometimes. So we are going to wait for her to get set up on the extra computer, and then we will be jumping into our discussion. It's really and truly a conversation that we were having um, leading up into the new year, and she just wanted to have you guys become privy to that conversation. It's usually a conversation we have every year, a couple times a year, just to make sure we, just one of those check-in conversations to make sure that we all on the same page still. because we're a team. We always hashtag Team Wilson. So these are one of those conversations of things that we lessons we learned and things of that nature that we felt would be beneficial for the greater community, and we just wanted to share. So with that being said, we're just going to wait for her to come back on. And once she's on, we will let you know. So in the meantime, between time, if you have not done this as yet, in order for us to see the name of the person who's commenting on in the comment section, we need you to give StreamYard permission to do so. I believe in the link for the live tonight, there's an option that says give StreamYard permission to show your name. I think that's what you need to do. So do that first, please, so that we can see who is making those comments, so we can address the comments. You may have questions, you may have comments, you may have concerns. We want to be able to see who is actually making the comments and asking the questions, because it helps us, and it also helps everyone who is also on the live to see that, listen, if you have a question, you may not be able, or you may not be the only one who feels that way. And that kind of gives you a sense of reassurance that, listen, I'm not the only crazy one, probably. All right. So that's that. So if you're coming in, let me know who you are. Well, me for right now, because Charmaine isn't here as yet. But let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know who you are, and let me know where you're listening from, whether it's St. Martin or St. Eustatius, like I am. Let me know who you are and where you're from, and then while we're waiting for Charmaine, we're just gonna have some conversation. And
I think I'm
she's here, guys.
in. Hi. Babe, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. And I can
Okay,
see you
good.
with your fine looking self. Mwah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't look so bad yourself.
I know. Thank you.
All right, well, I was trying to hold on the fort, but I'm not good at this hosting thing. So come on, do your bubbly thing, and get everybody back in.
Yeah. And
I probably ran all them off.
to hold it down. I don't know what was, I think it's a laptop or something. I don't know. I need a new laptop. You need to get me a new laptop, please. So, anyway, everyone, I said that out here so everybody can hear it. So, yeah, just
Yeah, don't.
please
I
let the
saw
man
what
of
you
God
did,
know.
but it's okay. I saw exactly what you did, but
No, what
we'll
I
see.
need. Put it in the chat. Say, Darren, get her a new laptop. Wait,
Once
hold
it's in
on.
the budget, once it fits in the budget.
All right. So I don't know if I can't see the comments. Is anybody commenting? If they click the link
Yeah,
for
people are commenting. You can't see the
okay.
you
But
can't see the comment.
the comments are supposed to come on the sides. I can't see them.
You click on comments? Do you
Oh,
have that
sorry.
option?
Yeah, it said private chat. Ooh, I see Sharika. I see Marisha. I see Facebook user. That person, I think Charmaine from Rhode Island. Hi, Charmaine, girl. You better click on that link so that I can see your name every time you comment. Thank you, Marisha. Tell him to get me that laptop. Anyway, night, ladies. I want to thank you for coming on. I think you can share this, like share it with friends who are in the group. So just go to the share button, and the names of those that pop up, just click invite, so that everybody can come in, so that they don't have to catch the replay and miss out on the fun, miss out discussion.
Right.
And I
It's
want
also on
to
YouTube too,
inform
so you can go on the
everyone.
My Own Husband YouTube page, copy the link, and share it. There we go.
So
I,
can we
I'm
share
just,
it? Because I didn't share mine.
it's on YouTube. If you go on the My Own Husband page, YouTube channel, I should say, you go on the My Own Husband YouTube channel, you'll see the link right there. Click the link, share it with your peeps. Tell them, come on, 20 things we learned in 2020. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead now. Do your welcome
No,
spiel.
babe, we go ahead. We're not doing any formalities tonight. We're just going to kick back and relax and have a good time. So it's fine. But send the YouTube channel or YouTube link, please, and get it out there.
Yeah. YouTube channel, My Own
To
Husband.
the MOH family, I want to say Happy New Year again to you, to my own husband. Yes,
Oh, yeah, Happy New Year, MOH.
9th,
I'm sorry.
2019. So we are, yeah, so we just want to thank you for being with us. We want to thank you for
Oh, man. Don't tell me the internet again. Every time you try to do something good, always something. Okay, she's back. She's back. Hold on, guys.
your internet service provider.
Don't want to, bash a certain internet provider, but, it's always when you want more, you get less. Did I say that? Oops.
Anyway, so we want to say Happy New Year to everyone. We want to get right into tonight's discussion. Tonight, we want to talk about 20 things that we have learned, we have grown into, rediscovering our purpose and our commitment, and understanding who we are as a couple, understanding why we are, understanding where we are going, who we are called to. As the years go by, it's a little more clearer, a little more firm in the foundation of who we are and why we are. Most importantly, why we are. And my husband is very strong on that subject of purpose. So daily, constantly, I'm always hearing that in my head. It's always about, babe, you need to know why you're doing a thing. What's the purpose behind it? He's always speaking about purpose, so much so that sometimes I get tired of hearing it. But it is necessary, especially in seasons such as these that we're in, where there's so many things that is contending for your attention. There's so many things going on in the world right now that is trying to distract us from why we were called and who we were called to. So I don't want to be one of those that get distracted in why I was called, who I'm called to, and what we're doing as a community. And my own husband, Darren Wilson, is here tonight to help me deliver some of these points that we came up with, and literally has been our experience. Some of them we have been experiencing since the time we got married, and this year it made a lot more sense. For those of you who are married for longer years than we are, you know what I'm saying. That some things that you thought that you knew, or that was maybe early in in the early stages of marriage, later on there are some circumstances and things that will come to play, that will help you to better understand why you had to go through the process you had to go through it. So it's all good. We want to have fun in discussing that. But before we also discuss that, I want to officially thank Darren Wilson, my own husband, for being an amazing, phenomenal support to me. Everything that I do, almost everything that I say, has been vetted, or just gone, like filtered through him, like literally, like he's my go-to person. Anything that I do for this community, all the events that we've hosted, every single thing that we put out there, I mean, not in our group,
All the
our little
money,
funny. He doesn't have to know those, but all the serious work that goes into MOH, this is the man behind it. Yeah, everything, administration, everything. He's the one that helps me, and
all
I
the
just want to
money.
thank
You ain't saying that one. All the money.
all the money and all
Okay.
the cry, the tears and lonely nights. He's the one that I have to lean on and just say, babe, I don't know if I can continue this. It's heavy on me. But he's encouraging me to continue. And then your lovely smiles, ladies, your engagement in the group, your participation, you coming along, being here tonight, and also yes, I'm finally seeing comments again. I want to see comments. I want to feel the group. Um, Also, just you signing up for our events and stuff like that, it means so much because it makes no sense to be doing a thing and there's nobody there to receive from it. So every time you show up, you're showing up for yourself, but you're also blessing me when you show up because it lets me know that there's still people out there that wants what we have to offer, and that is what it's all about. It's all about making sure that the vision and the mission of MOH gets out there. So speaking about mission, goals, what do we want to do in 2021? Well, the goal doesn't change. The goal is still the same, and that is to inspire and impact wives literally everywhere. We are not going to stop until wives all around the globe hear about MOH, and not just about the movement, but receive what we have, the impact that we're looking forward to having. That is the goal, to get wives everywhere to literally have at least one encounter with what we do so that they can be inspired, they can be motivated, be encouraged. I don't know about y'all, but I needed a lot of encouragement, and still need encouragement in marriage. It does not end. You never arrive anywhere. It's constantly something that you have to build on from one level to the next, one level to the next. So that is what we want to do. And we want to encourage, of course, to become better wives, not bigger wives. There are so many things in your marriage that's going to take place, that's going to cause you to take and it can really destroy the future of your marriage. Not saying that you are the one responsible, but it can be a contributing factor that can get in the way of advancement and the success of marriage. So we don't want to fall before God and be the ones that are responsible for the failure of our marriage. We need to make sure that we get it right alongside our husbands. So how do we do this? Well, by learning, having wives connect, having our events. This year we're gonna push hard on workshops. So we are not playing this year. We're not having any cute sessions and all these nice words and stuff. We are going hard on projects. We are going hard on practical investments into our own lives, right? Because it's about us becoming better. So I am excited about that. And yeah, basically, we need to create this community. The community is already here, but we need to expand it to reach the world, reach the wives, wherever they are globally. I am not playing with that. Like everywhere I go, if there's a wife in the room, she's about to either know my name or I am about to know her name, and we're about to get connected and we're about to help change and help grow each other and motivate each other. The New Year's Eve, my husband and I, we were on a boat ride, and this beautiful lady got engaged. And listen, my friend Malika, who was with me, like, Charmaine, I already spoke to her about MOH, so I'm like, okay, let's do this. So we were at it, and I, share our link with her. I'm looking forward to connecting with her more. It makes no sense to celebrate people if you can't help them. It absolutely makes no sense because getting engaged is the pretty part. After that, the real work starts. So she needs community, she needs support, and that is what about, and that is who we are, and that is what we'll continue to do, uplifting each other and encouraging each other. And lastly, have a little MOH approach. They are going to, as you know, and my husband also agrees with this, we are going to have a more team approach per month. So for this month of January, probably tomorrow or the day after, probably, we are going to release our flyer with updates of what's to come. And that is the topic or the theme for the month of January, goal slayers. Put that in the chat. Goal slayers, right? So as wives, we are bossing up, right? I know the thing that MOH is all about teaching submission and means you can't speak and you don't belong in the room and you gotta be all meek and don't have anything to say. We're about to bust that bubble this month. That is not what MOH is about, and that is definitely not submission. We have been through what submission is, and because we are submissive wives, we have the authority and the ability under the covering of our dear husbands to glow, to blossom, to thrive, to expand, and to just be all that us to be. And that is also goal slaying, right? So we are no longer to be seen as women who, just hide behind our husband's visions and hide behind their goals, and we just there to just pass the, water and pass napkins or whatever. No, we are equally contributors of this vision, this overall vision for the family. Your husband is going to help you, and you're going to help him. So this goal slaying all the way 100%. Boss women, boss wives in the room. This is for you. You are not bossy. You're not going to be bossing your husband, but you are going to take your goals, like literally seriously, and you are going to not just run with it, but you're going to actually see the because we are putting in the work to ensure that you do just that, do it correctly, right? So look forward to that, and I definitely need you to, if you are the MOA exclusive access, you need to get a part of that group, because the package allows you to be a part of all these events absolutely free. Absolutely free. So put that in the chat as well. Exclusive access equals free, meaning as long as you are an exclusive member, paid member of $3 a month, you have complete access to everything that we do for that month. And this year, we are not playing on a monthly basis. We are going hard. We are having, and you need to listen. If you are not the exclusive access group, that means unfortunately you're gonna have to pay per session or pay per package sessions that we have. And I think it's gonna be more economical on you to just join us in the exclusive group. So we want to thank you for that. Everything that you sow into this community, it is for your benefit. It is to grow us as a community, can have more resources to help us. That means our speakers, we want to make sure we bless our speakers for coming on and speaking to us. We want to make sure that we have good equipment. We want to make sure that, all glitches and stuff, such as that we don't have these problems anymore, and just get things going without any hiccups, and anything that you contribute helps us in that area. So I just want to thank those of you who were able to be a part of exclusive access group and grow with us. Also, we're going to have a few one-on-one, and maintaining social distancing and all that good stuff. We're going to have some events where we're going to have to meet, and we're going to have to connect on a more personal as well. So all of that is in store for this year. And I want to thank you all so far for trusting us to this point, where this movement is concerned. If that's that's clear, you have no questions, then we can move on to the next thing. But I just want to feel you in the comments. Send some hearts, send some love. Let me know if this sounds good or if this sounds good. Babe, are you okay over there?
I'm doing fine. I'm just waiting for you to get the preliminaries out the way.
Anything you want to add to what I said, or the journey, what you've been observing from the outside looking in?
The one thing I want to add is that from the inside looking out, I want to encourage everybody who's listening, and those who probably be watching the replay. This is one of the best communities that I think you can be a part of as a wife, because it is one of those communities that is not all about the show. It's not all about the glitz, the glam, and the fashion, but it's actually one of those movements. I'm not just saying this because it's my wife. I'm saying it because it's legit through the legit truth. Her heart for wives is legit. Like, you're not going to you may not find the type of heart that she has for others much places. And I can tell you, because the type of person I am, I'll be honest, because we're being real here tonight. We're being hot, honest, open, and transparent. I'm not that person. I don't. They sound harsh, but I really don't care. But she does, and she is allowing me to see what happens when you actually care about persons. Because every so often somebody will reach out to her and be like, "Listen, there's a situation. What's your take on it? Doesn't matter what time of the night it is. She's always there willing to help." And I think that that goes a long way with people. So if you're not a part of anything that my own husband is doing, please be a part of it. I'm not saying it because it's my wife. I'm saying it because there's a a detrimental lack of authentic community. And from day one, when this thing started, my wife has been about creating community, creating safe spaces for wives to learn and grow and develop. Simply because that was something that she wanted for herself and she didn't have. So I think that being on the on this side, looking out and seeing, how persons are not really taking advantage of everything that is being offered here, I really think it's to their detriment. But hey, people are going to be people. But if I can encourage you to do one thing this year, it would be to be a part of the Mind Husband community, whether it's to the exclusive access, whether it's to being a part of the private group, the Better Wives for Better Lives, or even if it's just engaging on stuff on the Mind Husband page. But be a part of the community, because everything that is done in the community is done for the betterment of you as a wife, betterment of you as a woman and a wife. Is nothing done that is going to be outside of those parameters. So be a part of the movement. 2021. Don't let This is good for you. This will be good for you. Don't allow it to pass you by. Don't allow this season to pass you by. Don't allow the opportunity to become, as her slogan says, better wives for better lives. Don't allow that to pass you by. And it's not that you're being a better wife because you want something from your husband, but you're being a better wife because in you becoming a better wife, the result of that is so much more than you can fathom. It's like I mentioned earlier, or a couple days ago, about the investment. The investment you make today in being a better wife, the investment you make today in being a better partner, a better spouse, the investment you make today, your future self will thank you for making that investment. All right. And it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Like I said, it's just a matter of engaging, liking, sharing. And if you want to take it a step further, being a part of the exclusive access membership group, where she's busy behind the scenes. And I can tell you, behind the scenes, busy working to ensure that she is putting resources and tools and projects together to ensure that no stone is left unturned in the development and the betterment of you as a wife. Right? So that's what I have to say. I think that it is an awesome movement. Um, to be quite honest, I think that it is something that is necessary, something that is needed, and it's something that will take the world by storm. And I'm so glad to be on this side, watching it grow organically, watching it grow, watching it develop, because it's literally really her baby. And I think that it's something that she's working really hard on, to be able to make sure that it does become the global movement for wives, right? So just waiting for it to come back on. Yeah, again, internet giving some serious issues tonight. But if push comes to shove, we'll just come back on and complete the session. Oh, I'm seeing her back on here now. Okay. All right. You good?
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
I see a new laptop coming in the near future.
All right. Can't see you.
I'm trying to change my to put me back out the room so I can change the camera.
Okay. You're still on. You're still talking though. So, oh, the mic is still on. So just letting you be aware. Don't worry. I didn't say anything bad about you. So yes, ladies. As soon as she comes back in and comes back on, we'll be jumping into. All right.
Listen, by the hook or by the crook, we are getting these points across tonight, right?
Right.
So,
I think we should start soon because we
all
have.
right. So 20 things, huh?
I was saying I think we should start soon because we have 20 things to go through, and we know how you
Yeah,
get when you start
we're
talking.
gonna make it fast. No, we're not gonna stay more than a minute per point. So, as you rightfully said, there's so much that we have learned in 2020. There were hard lessons. Some of them made us better, and some of us made us really question what we've been doing before. We've been doing it all wrong. And the whole thing is that I'm just happy we are here now. That's basically it. I'm really happy we are here. So the first thing I have is that sometimes you need more than just a listening ear. That's been like one of the major lessons that I have learned in 2020. You need more than just a listening ear when it comes to community, your circles, your connections, your friendships, your relationships. Because after all the talking is over, like after you have vented your business and all that stuff with that one person or that friend or that community, you're going to need wise wisdom. Sorry, you're going to need wise um,
Counsel. Right.
uh, and solution to whatever that problem is. So if you have a problem, if I have a problem with you, babe, and I go and I just, pour it all out to a friend, and at the end of that conversation, there is no real solution, no wise counsel after all of that, then it absolutely made no sense. I get that sometimes you just need somebody to listen to you without having anything to say, but that
Mm-hmm.
can be the total nature of the relationship where you just pour out, but you leave empty. You leave with no real solution to the problems of you in your marriage, right? So choose wisely who you talk to. If I have to summarize that point, you need to choose wisely who you talk to. Sometimes the people who you have to talk to are not necessarily your friends, because they are probably not there yet maturely in whatever it is that you need to talk to them about. So I would ask my husband, what are some of the qualities, or how do you know that you are in a safe place, a safe zone where communication or sharing what's happening in your life is concerned as a wife or a spouse?
Well, I think that one of the things that I think we have to pay attention to, and guys, this is literally a conversation that is happening between us that you're eavesdropping in on. So it's not like we're actually preaching to you, but we're having a conversation amongst ourselves, and you just get to um, eavesdrop. But one of the things that I think that is important to realize is that if you're looking for qualities in a person that um, that you want to vent to, I think it's important to realize that you got to start looking at things that you don't want. I think that's a better approach than trying to figure out what it is you want in a person. Because oftentimes, if you figure out what you don't want, or the best way to figure out what something is or what you want is to figure out what something is not, or figure out what you don't want. And I think that there's where a lot of times we have to that's where we have to start figuring out what we don't want. So if you want somebody to vent to, you want somebody it's confidential. You know, you want somebody
Mm,
that is that inspires you. You don't want somebody that doesn't inspire you. Right? And I think that's one of the hallmarks of people that you want to vent to. Does this person inspire you to be better? Do these persons inspire you to be better? Does this couple inspire you to be better? Because if they don't, then chances are that you won't hear anything that they have to say. And one of the ways you can tell if you're inspired by them is if you can relate to them. Are they transparent enough with you? Are they real enough with you? Are they honest enough? Are they open enough? That all that lends itself to inspiration. And I think another thing too is you want somebody who's not only a complainer but is solution oriented. I know sometimes when you vent in, you don't want solutions all the time, but at some point you have to figure out if this person can help you solve whatever issue you have. If they can't help you
yeah,
solve a problem, if they have and you can tell if they have problems in their own life and if they've come up with solutions for them, or at least and not the entire solution sometimes, but if they are in the process of solving that problem, you know and, they,
mm,
and we have to take into consideration too that some problems may not be fixed, but what are they doing in the event that the problem can't be fixed? How are they working around the situation? How are they embracing the situation? What are they doing with the situation? So these are all things that you can consider when you're looking for somebody to vent to, when you're looking for somebody to talk to, when you're looking for somebody that gives you wise counsel, advice, because all of those things play a role.
yeah. Oh, great. I love that. I'm just gonna go right into number two because we're not gonna stay long on the points.
Yeah.
I'll
And
definitely
if I'm talking too long, stop me, okay? Because sometimes,
no, it's good. I just after you speak, I'll just go straight to the point. But what I was gonna say is probably like tomorrow, the day after, I'm gonna send out a post with all the slides with each point, so you have it all the time and you can use it in your personal marriage, your life and all that good stuff.
okay.
Number two, that we have discovered is that what God is doing in our marriage, what God is doing in our marriage may not be clear to everyone, may not be clear to everybody, and you need to be okay with that. It is not their business, it's yours, right? So
My business. My business.
your marriage may be known publicly. This marriage publicly.
Ah, right. So like she was saying, what God is doing in your marriage is nobody's business. Um, it may not be clear, all right. And a lot of people like to give their opinions. A lot of people like to give their suggestions about what you should do or you shouldn't do. And that's fine. Be okay with it. Everybody has an opinion, and that's fine. But realize that the things that are going on in your marriage, things that God is doing and inputting and building into your marriage, it's literally nobody else's business. You know. So I'm sorry. She just sent me a message telling me that this computer is messing up. So I guess, guys, I gotta get a new computer. All right, I'll work on that. But yeah, it's nobody's business. And I think that one of the examples that I can give of that, if I can continue while she's coming back on, um, like in this season right now, and when she comes back on, she'll probably corroborate that. This season is kind of difficult for us now because I am currently in Stacia. I live in Stacia now. I'm the airport manager of the Stacia airport. And she's still in St. Martin with our son. So right now, while we were, speaking with persons and having discussions with them, they were letting us know that, listen, yeah, that may not be the best thing for your marriage right now. You have a young wife, you have a young son. It may not be the best thing to do right now. But we realize that what God is trying to instill in us in this particular season, I mean, probably ain't clear to everybody, but we know what it is He's doing. And this season is necessary for us, and because of that, we know that we have the added grace to be able to walk through this season gracefully. Because this may take a toll on a lot of other people who are not equipped to handle it. And one of the things we learn in our marriage is that whatever you're going through, God has graced you to handle it. God has graced you to walk through it. God has graced you to be able to sustain whatever it is. He doesn't give you more than you can bear. So we've had to tell people very nicely, thank you, but I think we got it. God got us,
Yeah.
and we got
Yeah, and you don't have to feel like you're offending anyone, because when you stood at the altar, it was literally you and your husband. Everybody else stands there as witnesses, and they are supposed to remind you that it's you and your husband together. But if you are not getting that feedback, you're not getting that vibe from them, like you understand it's me and my husband, and we have to make the ultimate decisions for our relationship based on whatever God has led us to do, then those are not quite the right people to have walking beside you in this journey of marriage. Um, Look for that peace in your heart concerning any decision. I don't know if the husband spoke yet about our transition where he is in Stacia working and I'm here in St. Martin.
it. Yeah,
When
I
we
did.
first released that information out, listen, let me tell you, there are a lot of people congratulating, but there were a lot of people that you all don't know about that have been criticizing us. And they were like, yeah, y'all don't know what y'all doing. That is not a good idea. And I really have no problem with people being genuinely concerned, um, but you still have to humble yourself to approach people like they know what they're doing and ask a question. You don't know how long this has been in the making. For you, it's a sudden move because now you heard about it. But when it was released, my husband was already in station for like what, 2 months already, a month and a half. And we've already put things in place and we've been managing on our own without releasing that information out there. And now that you know, you feel like, oh, you don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. Whereas we've been managing for a month and a half. So sometimes it's not the best approach. I think all times it's not the best approach to have a judgmental approach when it comes to decisions that a couple have to make. If you see them walking in the wrong direction or you are going in the wrong direction, you need to still be open for some correction, but it must not come from a place of dictatorship or where you feel like you don't have control of your situation in your marriage, right? That kind of way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Number three,
Guys, listen, if don't forget to we have a comment section going on, because we want to
oh,
see
yeah, I
feedback
keep
as
forgetting
well.
over here. Yes, I didn't see any comments come in though.
Yeah,
Number three, a healed marriage keeps no record of wrong. Now, what does that mean? Oh, Marika said, love that one. Thank you, love. A healed marriage keeps no record of wrong. I know that lately for 2020, everybody has been talking about heal, heal well, heal, heal. Everybody needs to heal. We are all
yeah,
physicians.
yeah. He has been the
Those
buzzword for 2020.
telling people who's broken and who needs healing and stuff. Whereas our lives is the most broken that we've ever seen ever. So we want to go easy with telling people who's broken and who's not, and think that we know what's going on with people's lives, being judgmental. We want to go easy with such things. But if we are to bring across healing, healing is not forced. People are attracted to healing. People are attracted to a healed process. And if they're not attracted to what you are offering, then it may be an indication that there's still some work that you need to go through and some processing that you need to go under as well. And that is fine. That is okay. It doesn't mean you're not called. It doesn't mean that God has not appointed you or assigned you for whatever purpose. It just means that you still have some more work to do. So in your marriage, same way, we have learned that we were not always in this place. Like to be able to do this, like what we're doing. He's in station, I am here. We can still come on here despite the fact that my laptop is tripping all the time. Like I I'm really not bothered. For me, it's like, okay, if I get cut off, I know my husband can handle it. He knows my heart. He knows what to share. I know his, and we're good, right? But coming back to the point of um,
I think
I
too
think
the
marriage,
heal marriage part, you brought up a good point about people are attracted to not just the healed person but the healed process.
right?
People want to see your process. They don't just want the finished product, but they want to see how you got there. And I think that's one of the things that we neglect in especially if you deal with marriages. That's one of the things I think we neglect a lot as far as being healed or the healing is concerned. We neglect the process. We focus so much on the product, the end result, that we neglect the process of being healed. And I think that is where a lot of us trip up, especially in marriage, because we want our spouses to be finished products, but we don't realize that when you got married, when you said I do, you were committing to a process, not necessarily a
Yeah,
product. You know, so I think that that is something to bring out in this entire thing, because
yeah.
the healed process of marriage keeps no record of wrong, because you're gonna end up getting wronged again.
Mm-hmm.
A wise man once said to me, this was an older couple that we used to visit. He said, "Listen, the quickest person to that you will offend are those that are closest to you. And the closer they are, the more offended they'll get. And the more offended you'll get. So the prerequisite for offense is proximity or closeness. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you think about being offended, and just realize that that offense leads to the process of healing. You know, because it points to something on area in your life that needs healing, and that process is what gets you there. All right, I'm done. Go ahead.
No, it's good. It's good. But just to go back on record, no, it does not mean that you, oh my God, my husband hurt me the other day and I don't remember anything. That is not what we're saying, and that is not what the scripture means in based on um, accurate interpretation, right? I can't tell you literally like the sting of whatever it is that my husband probably did wrong or hurt me in probably like a few months ago, right? I don't remember like this the freshness of it, but I remember there was a time he offended me on a situation. Like what was that one again, babe? Like sometimes I used to find like when we have an argument, his tone or he would say words like, "Oh, you're talking a lot of stupidness," right? And when I hear that, it made me feel like he did not value what I had to say, and only because what I had to say was against what he did, he felt like it was stupidness. Now, being married to him, he's a very smart guy, intellectual, right? And that is what I was attracted to. So it's like being attracted to a guy, a man that is an intellectual, and then to have him tell me that I'm talking stupidness made me feel bad, and like um, what I had to say bear no weight, or he did not value what I had to say. That was pretty deep for me. For another wife, maybe you in the room, you're watching, you're like, oh, that got you upset. Oh, that's nothing. My husband tell me that all the time. But for me, it was very, very difficult because I grew up in a family circle where everything that was said was valued, well, valuable. Whatever I had to say, my father listened, my mother listened, even though they didn't agree. They let you speak, and then they speak. But this relationship, it felt like as I opened my mouth on a situation and I said, "But babe, you did that wrong. I didn't find that was nice." He'd be like, "You're talking a lot of stupidness," And this was like our big fallout, our big argument. Um, but today, I keep no record of that. Why? Because after I spoke about it and let him know that it was hurting me and stuff, and he asked me to forgive him, I did not anticipate that the next time we have an argument that he would say the same thing. Or if he slipped up and it happened again, I would be like, yeah, but you're always doing that. You're always doing that to me. And so that is keeping record of wrong. You're not allowing like a fair process of the transition from what was to what it's supposed to be. You're constantly anticipating that he's going to repeat what he did. You're keeping record. You have your receipts to show. You're pulling them out even before the situation happens. And then he's like, but I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to say that again. And you're like, yeah, but you always used to say it. So I anticipate you're going to say it again because I'm keeping a record of what you've done in the past. And I'm anticipating it's going to happen again. Then he shuts down and then he'll say it because you're forcing him to say it. And even though he's trying to change, you're anticipating that he's not going to change. So then it's like a repeated cycle, right? So that is what we want to really be careful with when it comes to records. Not necessarily that you have to completely forget, you never remember it. I still remember when my husband used to say those things. That is why I can talk about it now, but I do not use it against him, and I do not use it as an excuse to not heal and for us to not move on. If you get what I mean, if that's clear, right? Just
Yeah.
let us know in the
I
if that's clear.
I I already see that we're not gonna get to our 20, so I think we should establish now that we can do 10 and do the other 10 on a following night. Let's just establish that now. And then I saw a question came in from a Facebook user. I don't know who you are. I am so sorry. I think you have to give StreamYard permission so that we can see your
It's
name.
Charmaine. It's Charmaine. I'm seeing it from my
Ah,
Facebook chat. But Charmaine,
okay,
please
good.
give Facebook, please give what do you call this thing?
StreamYard.
StreamYard permission. Come out and click on the link and give them permission so that we can see your name.
Right. But she asked a very good question. How does one identify when a marriage is healed? You want to take that, or you want me to take that? What you want to do?
You can go ahead first.
Okay. I would say that one of the ways you can identify when a marriage is healed, Tremaine, is by the very same thing that this point says. When you're able to look past the wrong, not in the sense of ignoring it, but being able to have a discussion about the wrong, and then at the end of the process of the discussion, discard it as if okay, it has no bearing on the relationship. That's when you know the marriage is in the process of being healed. Because remember, again, coming back to what I said mentioned earlier, a lot of times we focus so much on the end product, which is healing or healed, that we don't focus on the process. I think the process is more important than the product because the process lets you know how the product will hold up, the durability of the product, the strength of the product. So I think you have to focus on the process that you are walking out or walking through to get to the healing. So I think that is something that you may want to take into consideration. What is the process you are implying? I don't know what the situation is, but if there's something that you feel that is in your marriage that warrants needing healing, I'm not saying that it is, but if there is, I think one of the things you can focus on is walking through what is that healing process you're going through, whether it's having a discussion, open discussions, whether it's therapy, whether whatever the process is for you, focus on that. You want to add to that, Tasha? Or are we moving on?
Yeah. Yeah, Marisha, correct. Not giving in to the anticipation of wrongdoings. That can be a future killer for the marriage, right? You constantly not seeing any improvement, even while little improvements are being experienced,
Oh yeah, that's a
right?
big one. That's a big
That's
one.
that's that's a marriage killer right there.
That's a
And we
big
do
one.
very well at that as wives because we're very good at keeping records. right? Details for details. I remember I was standing up by the bathroom door. I had on a green pants, and you came in, you winked once, and then we have
I don't think
details,
yourself,
right?
no. Men do it too. Because there are some things that I remember, and it's almost like, you know something, listen, it's really not worth it. All right. So let's just squash it. But men do it too. So don't think it's only wives. Husbands do it too. They may not tell you, but we could keep lists in our head as well.
Right. But number four, graceful, giving people do well in marriage. Oh my God.
Mhm. And
Woo!
that speaks to the last point. Yep. That speaks to the,
Yes,
that springboards off of the last point.
yeah. So we don't have to dwell much on that, but I want you to know that you don't wait until you get married to practice having a forgiving heart. You know, that is a quality that needs to be seen marriage.
Hmm.
How well, like, we gotta be honest, Darren he's easy to cut people off. He's not like me, right? My mouth is, I'm more mouthy, right? I would cuss you out, not bad words, but I'll tell you a thing or two, and then I'm done. But tomorrow when I see you, I'm like, hey, you good? You need something? Let's hang out. That's me. He's not that type. He is, and then when we hang out, I will talk about it. I'll be like, listen, we need to talk about what happened yesterday. I didn't like what you did. Okay, maybe I was a little harsh. I'm sorry. But you're gonna know how I feel, right? With Darren, my husband is not like that. He's like, I don't need to explain you nothing. I'm good. You don't have to say nothing to me. I don't say nothing to you. Move on with your life. I'm going to sleep. Right? So he did not
Pretty
have
much.
that measure of grace when it comes to people. I think when he became a father, it really broke him and helped him soften his heart. My son, I don't know where he got this from because we taught him a little bit about saying sorry and stuff like that. But our son, he has such a big heart for forgiveness. He would literally say he is wrong and he's sorry for things
Do you
that we
forgive
did
me?
wrong. He'll be like, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you don't have to tell me you're sorry. I am the one that stepped on your toe or something. I need to say I'm sorry. By mistake, I stepped on your toe or I bumped into you. I have to say something. But he's always ready to say, I am sorry, Mom. Please forgive me. And I'll hug him and I'll say, you're fine. Why are you begging for forgiveness like this? Where did you get that from? Right? With that, I think it really helped us, especially helped my husband because now he became a lot more merciful. He extended grace on a whole different level than when I first met him when it comes to people. Um, so I think that even though he got it late, we did suffer the consequences of that early in our marriage because he would hold back and not speak or say anything to me for like 2 3 days. And I felt like, well, if you think you cannot speak to me, I can do this and I can do it for 5 days, So early in our marriage, it was really tough. We would literally be in the house and not have anything to say. I'm like, I don't have anything to say to you. Like, no, like I'll cook, I'll do all of that. Just take your food and be about your way, sir. Right? But and that is why I'm so happy that when it comes to marriage, all our stories may be different timings, but the principles are still the same. So if you haven't gotten it right pre-marriage, get it right now because you're hearing this tonight. So you have no excuse.
Yeah.
Practice to become more graceful. Too much grace is given. Um, what's the scripture again? What's that scripture I'm looking for?
I drawn a blank to it.
To whom much is given, much is required, right?
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So God has extended his grace towards us. Like, I did not deserve his love and his forgiveness, but yet he reached out his hand towards me and said, come, my daughter, I love you just the way you are. Why can't we do it for others when we have received it freely, right? So We are not to hold back on our forgiveness. We are not to hold back on our love because people did not always live up to our expectations and stuff like that. Yes, I know some relationships are toxic. I ain't trying to be friendly to everybody who's toxic in my life, but we need to still have some measure of grace towards them. Say, listen, I love you. I'm just gonna love you from all the way over there. But if you are in need, I will extend a hand to help you up. Right? I will help you up. So graceful and forgiving people do excellently well in marriage. They may miss other things like financial empowerment and all these different great things that we look forward to in marriage, but they're very good when it comes to giving each other chances and watching and waiting, being patient as we grow in marriage together. Yeah. Number 5. Is this good or is this good? Just send us some feedback in the chat. I don't think we're gonna cover all 20 tonight.
No, we
Um,
only can get to cover 10 because we're already an hour in and we're on 5 now. So we do 10 now. And then another time, if y'all want, we can come back and do a part two, but you gotta let us know. You have to let
yeah,
us know.
let us know what you want us to come back. Okay, so number 5. I put it in the chat. Number 5 says there are people that you and your husband are called to, and when that season is, if it ever becomes, or if it ever reaches to that point, when that season is up, you will know, right? How will you know? They will begin to love one and not the other. Now, this is a personal experience. Listen, we're not here trying to talk mess. We're not here trying to just give y'all sweet words. We are here to tell you facts, things that we have lived, things that we have been through, right? There are people that you are called to, but you will know that that season is up. Listen, we need to go separate ways. We need to part ways when you notice that they're becoming disrespectful to one and not the other. Listen, we're not doing that in 2021. We've done it in 2020, but we're not doing that in 2021. This is where we have to break, right? If you notice, I don't care how sweet you and your best friend is, if you notice that your best friend is so sweet with you, but she can't get along with your husband, ma'am, sir, we can't continue this relationship. Now, I'm not saying there needs to be a sudden cut off. There must be conversation. Hey, I notice whenever my husband comes around, you always act funny, like you don't want him around. Or whenever he comes with me, you're like, why did he come? All of these little shade you're dropping now and again. You know, I mean, I've heard it all. I've seen friends said things to me that said my husband did, or whatever. And all of a sudden, these things just start happening like that. And then when I go to my husband, he's like, "What are they talking about? I don't even look at them. Like, what are they saying?" you know. And I realized that it's rooted either in a little jealousy or pride or whatever it is. But what we are not doing that too long, right? I can give you a chance to explain yourself. I can give you a chance to correct yourself, but I'm not giving you a chance to continue like digging this thing up and making it something that it's really not. We don't have time for that, right? So anytime you sense that there's some measure of disrespect, then we need to have a discussion on that. But you're not gonna have me and not gonna have my husband. Sometimes
I
you see
think I
this in
think
like
something
in-law
to
relationships.
I think something
Sorry.
I think something that also needs to be mentioned here too as a sidebar is that this is not something that you do, as we say, today for tomorrow. Because something I live by is that patterns prophesy. Patterns tell you the story. And it's sometimes, it can start off, subtly. But once you begin observing, for me, I like to go with my gut. I like to go with my gut. I like to go with vibes, and how we say those spirits, start to be at odds with each other. Our spirits don't connect, things like that. I usually allow myself some time to observe the patterns, observe the trends, listen to the remarks. I do a lot of observation. You may not know it, but I'm watching. I told my wife this, when before we got married, to a situation we were dealing with, and I said to the person, "Don't worry, I'm watching, I'm looking, and I'm observing." And it threw them for an entire loop because they thought all the time they were doing what they were doing, but I wasn't paying attention because I wasn't giving them the time of the day. But I let them know, listen, I'm seeing everything that's happening, and it's not even for it wasn't just this one time. It's been consistent. And once you get to that point, when you realize that you know something, the people that you will call to them definitely. But once you start observing patterns, once you start observing trends, once you start seeing things that are moving off in a different direction, you just have to tell yourself, you know what? Yeah, season is done, and disconnect quick. I did no hard feelings, no love lost. We don't have to be at odds. We don't have to be beefing with each other. But it's just the end of this. Whatever this was, it's the end of it, and move forward. Just gracefully.
And you need to value your relationship enough. Like I have great friendships, right? I have lost some. They were also very good friendships. I can't complain. While it lasted, we were great with each other. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say about them. It's just unfortunate that it ended the way it ended. Like I don't see why it had to end the way it ended, but hey, things. But what people need to understand is that, and you need to make that very clear. You see this thing called Darren and Charmaine Wilson? Whatever it is for you, it means something else for me. You might see this, I see it as this, right? So I value my relationship with this man on my left or on my right, depending on where he is on your screen, right? More than I even value this community of MOH. It needs to be clear. And you don't have to feel guilty about it. I love MOH, the community, but I don't love you more than I love this man. And you shouldn't love me more than you love your husband. Like, we need to be able to accept that. I love my in laws, but I don't love y'all more than I love him. I love my family, but I don't love y'all more than I love this man. This is a different type of love. I get that. But at the end of the day, he is still priority for
Right.
me. And I'm not
Right.
going to be quiet about it. I am not going to say it softly. I am saying it loud. I put it on my Facebook status. 2021, I even let 2021 know this. 2021, whether you get another pandemic or not, I don't know what your plan is. Team Wilson will always be my priority. Period.
Yeah.
And that
And
is something
two,
that you all have to make clear in all your relationships. All your relationships. All
we
your relationships. Your
we
besties.
ain't gonna get through all this.
Everybody
I tell
needs to
you.
know. I love you, sis, but this is my priority. So when you decide to bounce, when you decide to not be a friend anymore, it's okay. As long as this is intact, Darren, Charmin, Nigel is intact, we are good, fam. We are good. So I need us to get that moving on, right? That there are people that you are called to together as a team, as husband and wife. But should this flip on you, change on you, whatever the word is, know that one of the early signs would be that they will love one and not the other, or they will find fault in one and not the other, right?
Mhm.
And once you see that creeping in, you need to address it and cut it immediately.
And it doesn't
Number
necessarily
six,
mean that they're toxic people. It just means that this, whatever season it was, it's over. So there
it's
is no
over.
reason to go around labeling people as toxic, or labeling people as prideful or this and that. That all that is immaturity. We got to a situation. It's no longer there's no mutual benefit to us being together anymore. So then it's just best we part
It's
ways.
okay.
You're not toxic. I'm not toxic because I'm sure there are 10 other people that can vouch for you and say you're not toxic. So my experience with you is not their experience. So I don't have no business calling you a toxic person or a prideful person or whatever. It's just that we are no longer kindred spirits. So let's just skip the immaturity and just move on. All right. It's the season is done. Let's accept it like adults and move on. If for some reason the season comes back around, then it comes back. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But whatever we had in that time, Let's just honor it and move on.
Move on. Right. Y'all see why I love this man? Y'all see, this is the kind of sound wisdom that I get on a daily. Like, he helps me process these things. There are things that I really carry in my belly, right? I'm like, babe, but what happened? And he's like, Charmaine, you need to understand. Things happen, people change, move on. He really helped me take away the emotions, and I'm better. I'm literally, I sleep good. I snore now, like for
I've
real.
been sleeping good. Nobody don't disturb that for me. I telling you straight up. Nobody don't disturb my sleep, bro. I telling you.
I don't know who does it. There are things that bothers me, and for him, once he puts his head down, the man of God is gone, like in a jiffy. He's sleeping. Anyway,
Nobody don't disturb my sleep. I take that serious.
number 6, give your husband some space sometimes. That's for me. I had to learn that in 2020 because during the lockdown, I was all up on him. I was like, you ain't going nowhere. Don't go out there. You're not doing nothing. We have a business. I'm like, you're not going on the road. You staying home. Whatever they need, let them ask their own husband, their family member, their cousin, their godfather to do it for them. Not you, not my husband. I want him home with me. Stay under my arms. I'm gonna hold you, right? That is how I felt during the lockdown. It really like brought us together and get up in the morning. I make breakfast and I just stay with him. All this time, the man wanted his space. He wanted his space. He wanted a little time to breathe, right? So, number 6, give your husband some space sometimes. But here's the thing, what you do and allow during that time away from each other says a lot, right? If you find yourself can't function, can't read a book, can't get that goal off the ground, can't do something while he's playing his safe, then that says a lot about you, boo boo. That says a lot about you as a wife. Like you have nothing else going on in your marriage. You have absolutely nothing else going on. And I'm not talking about being occupied with the kids. I am talking, what are your goals? What are you doing? What are you working on? And this is what I'm talking about goal setting. What are you occupied with? What is your God-given assignment? What is that project that you needed to complete? What can you do apart from being married? What else do you do? Who are you as a woman? What are your goals? So that is what I'm saying. Give him some space, but what you do during that space, that says a lot about you.
Right. Let me jump in here with that because that is something that is important for us as men. There are sometimes, especially because now I'm over here in Stacia, sometimes not I'm over here in Stacia, sometimes, we end up in situations where it's a long day and I come home and, she hasn't spoken to me all day and make it worse, I'm not in the same country. So as soon as I walk through the door, 5 o'clock or 5:30 or whatever, then she's calling me on the phone. I'm like, listen, ma'am of God, I love you, right? But I really don't want to talk to you right now. I really just want to sit down and just relax. I just really just want to decompress. And sometimes, it used to cause an issue because he's like, yeah, but you talk to me all day. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'm gonna get to you. Just give me some time. Because sometimes it's a rough day. But you just need that space to decompress. And if she'll be honest, I'm pointing at you. If she'll be honest, she does that too. Because as a nurse, sometimes I would go to pick up and I would have my music on and I'm enjoying my music and she would come in and just shut the radio off. I'm like, listen, I can't deal with that right now. I'm like, but I was listening to that though. Yeah, but I can't deal with that right now. Why? Because you need time to decompress. You need that time. So we all need that time. But what is important is what she said. What you do in the time that you give him space really says a lot about you, not the person, about you. Because it shows that if you fall apart, when they need space, it means that your life is revolved around them, and you have nothing else doing for yourself, and that's detrimental because you are setting yourself up for insecurity issues. You're setting yourself up for your expectations for disappointment. You're setting yourself up for a lot of things because you don't have anything else doing for you to be able to say, you know something, all right, while you have your space, I'll do this. And then once we're all good, then we can have a conversation. Then we can talk. Then you can be with your family. Then we can talk. Then we can come back together. And a lot of times,
Yes.
I'm just gonna stick up for my male counterparts who enjoy video games. I'm not a video game person, but I understand why video games are important because that's their time where they just become a vegetable. It's just a time to just decompress. For me, it's Netflix. I love Netflix. I watch my series. I enjoy just not having to think about whatever it was that went on during the day. That time to just decompress, and then we have our conversation. But sometimes we need that space, definitely. And it's not just husbands, wives need it too. But wives are not going to tell you that because they think they have it all together. I know this is a
Sir,
wives group, but I can
what's
say
your
that.
sir, what's your tone in my group? So
We
number
all need space.
seven, and
Number
then we
seven.
have three more, and then that's it. We're gonna end at 10
That's it.
because we're gonna end at the 10th point. Um, Number
But I didn't
seven,
see anybody
every
saying they
couple.
wanted to come back. So I guess points 10 through or 11 through 20, nobody want to hear about it. Oh, well,
I don't know. They're in the
no.
comments off, so I guess they're they're receiving something. But let us
10
know
to
if
20,
you
but
guys want us to come back to bring the
okay, we'll
next
see.
10. We're gonna bring the next 10 anyway. We're gonna bring the next 10 anyway, because I know you guys are
Yeah, but I
interested.
want I want to see
Um,
I want to see if the people want it. But anyway, fine, no problem. Point number 7.
Number seven says every couple has to face some sacrifice in marriage. You are not alone. You are in covenant. That was
Facts.
for me. Facts right there.
Facts. That's for you.
My sacrifice, the sacrifice that we are currently facing now, I felt like I was the only one going through this. I was like, husband, I ain't got mine gone station, which I released him to go. It wasn't like I feel like he just jumped up and left. He did not want to go. I encouraged him to take this opportunity. So I had to put on my big girl pants and be like, listen, Charmaine, you are the one that encouraged your husband. Because when it comes to marriage, you can't just look at your own interests, your personal interests. A husband, a man has goals, he has a purpose, he wants to reach that goal. You have to help him reach that goal. And sometimes it may mean, not every case, I don't encourage for everyone, it can mean sometimes that he has to go live in another country for a little bit, not indefinitely while you are somewhere else, until whatever else works out. It's not always about financial purposes. Isn't like for us, it wasn't about financial reasons. It was more about purpose and career development and growth, right? So I want us to take ourselves a little bit, put ourselves a little bit on the side and see the bigger picture of things, right? But sometimes the devil is gonna make you feel, or the circumstance is gonna make you feel like you're the only one in the situation, and you're the only one suffering, and nobody else understands, and nobody else cares, nobody else cares because nobody checked in on me, and nobody this and nobody that. I had a lot of people checking in on me, but I didn't even want it. I was like, y'all don't check up on me, please. Because every time y'all checking up on me, I'm reminded that my husband not here. Y'all making me cry. Y'all making me this. That was my process. But I had to remind myself that I am not alone. I do have support, but I'm also in covenant. And that covenant is what kept us going strong till today, right? The minute you start to feel more like you're alone, more than you are in covenant, that is when you open the gates to all kind of different thoughts and ideas. You know what? My husband, I should go out. You know what? I should go with, oh, this guy always wanted to take me out. Let me just, and then you start entertaining conversations and you start smiling and giggling for stupid stuff that has nothing to do with real life issues. And
Right.
they're not even funny, and you start entertaining all kind of crap, right? But I am constantly reminded that I am in covenant with this man. He could be in Timbuktu. I'm still in covenant with him, right? So I have to maintain covenant behavior. Woo, that was good. I have to maintain a covenant mentality. So even when my husband is not in the house, when I speak in the authority of when I'm speaking to my son. I said, listen, if your father was here, you would not be doing that. So cut it out. Get in your bed. If your father was here, you would have been in. I have to maintain the standard and the systems put in place by my husband. I have to, right? I ain't having any and everybody come in this house. My husband, not that kind of person. Anybody that we welcome in this sanctuary of ours has to be approved by him as well. We can't just have people in here and he's like, who are these people in my house? No, covenant behavior. You got to maintain that mentality and you got to carry it out, right? So the way I dress when I go out, when I'm with my husband, I'm gonna be fly. I ain't care what nobody say. I'm gonna look, make the man know that listen, this is yours, right? But when he's not around, you're gonna find me in some joggers or whatever. Don't be trying to look at me. I ain't trying to look at you. I'm good. Please, thanks. Bye. Right? So you gotta, and please don't quote me wrong. I'm not saying that if your husband is not around, you gotta look poor. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you gotta understand that everything you do, you say the way you engage with the opposite sex, especially during that time, it's gonna be tested. So you gotta have to be very careful and wise in how you move forward with that is concerned. So you're not gonna find me online late. You're not gonna see me engaging with whoever late and doing all this kind of stuff. I am on the road and my husband is in station in his bed already and I'm still gallivanting down Bay Strip. No, you're not finding that, right? So covenant behavior.
You better not, because I have my eyes and ears in Tim Martin, so you better watch it. I got the brotherhood is there, The brotherhood is
Yeah,
there.
I know. My husband has his brothers. And I'm like, why are you watching me? Stop watching me. I'm good. Bye.
And
And
I want to just add this one thing here,
uh-huh.
and then I'll be with this point. But the whole covenant part, sometimes we get in trouble because when we think we're alone, we get in trouble because we allow the voices in our head to now dictate the situation, or make it seem turn the situation into what it is not. I know that there is a mutual friend of ours who has a situation, but because they feel that they are alone in the situation, they haven't really taken or spoken to anyone about it in detail or in depth. They're relying on what is going on in their head and their interpretation of the situation to fuel their responses and their actions, when really and truly all it is, it's a ploy to distract them from what is necessary or what they need to be doing. And I think that's what happens when you think you're alone in a situation. You think you're the only one going through the situation. You tend to feel that, well, if I'm the only one going through it, that means I'm the only one that has to come with a solution to it. And oftentimes, the solution that you're thinking of is the wrong one, because the situation that you're treating, or the symptom that you're treating, is the wrong thing. It's not the root cause. But if you keep thinking that you're alone and you only one going through a particular situation, then you begin to move that way. I can't tell you the number of times that I had to tell my wife that, listen, you think that we're the only people going through a particular situation. Anytime we have an argument or a disagreement, listen, we're not the only people. But our problem was we wasn't we weren't speaking to anybody else. So we were thinking that our issues, well, she was thinking that the issues that we were faced with were exclusive just to us. And then sometimes she would get out and speak to other people and otherwise and realize that, listen, well, but you have it worse off than us. And then she would come back and tell me, and I would tell her, but that's what I've been trying to tell you. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Because you used to keep it to yourself, you thought that you were the only one dealing with the situation when you're really not. But once you get around other people, you realize that, listen, but these situations are not unique. And it is in those discussions and those environments, like my own husband, when you realize that, listen, well, if you deal with it and you were able to come through it, remember the healing process that I spoke about? People want to see your process rather as opposed to just the product. Because you can show me a product, but if I don't see you how you got there, then I don't know how it can help me. Remember in school when they would tell you, I just don't want the answer to the math problem. I want to see your how you worked it out, because if it's in the process that I can tell you if you're going to get the right answer or not. But if you just want to show me the answer, then I don't know how you got to the answer. And sometimes the means don't justify the ends necessarily, or the ends don't justify the means. Let me say it like that. So get around people who are in um, community, in covenant, just like you, marriages. And if you get around them and you spend enough time, you realize that your situations are not unique. And once your situations are not unique, you take the power away from your own thought process, from thinking that you're the only one in the situation. So therefore, I have to handle it the only way that I am thinking about in my head. And that is a recipe for disaster. And that's where we end up in a situation where you say you are not alone in covenant. Because it's not just covenant between you and your spouse, but it's also covenant between you and yourself. Because you're in covenant with yourself and your thoughts as well. And if you violate that, you end up violating the covenant between you and your spouse, because you value what it is you're thinking above what it is that situation actually is. Anyway, I'm done. Go ahead. Point number 8.
Eight. No, that's good. That was good, babe. Eight. When you laugh so loud with your husband and tears come to your eyes. Have y'all ever laughed that much and then you literally found yourself like crying? You know, um, when you laugh so loud with your husband and tears come to your eyes, right? Don't wipe them away. Now I know people listening to that like, okay, what does that have to do with marriage? Listen,
It has a
you
lot.
are not just laughing. You are not just crying. Your soul is being refreshed. Listen, I can't tell you how many times we've realized that we didn't necessarily need a therapist nor a pastor. Now, we have a therapist, we have a counselor, and we have pastors, right? Um, but I can't tell you how many times in our marriage we didn't need, at that time, that situation, we didn't need any of those. What we needed was a good laugh, like one that literally comes from your belly. You cannot control yourself. You just
Just laugh, man. Just laugh.
laughing over something stupid.
Just
And
laugh.
it's sweeter after like a big fight, argument, whatever, and he does something silly, and then you start laughing.
Just
Like
laugh. Just
when
laugh.
Darren came 2 weeks ago, right? He tried to test me, right? We were going good. And I was like, I don't have a reason to be upset with him for anything. He's just here for 2 weeks. There's nothing that he can do to get me upset in 2 weeks, right? He's been away for like 2 months. So what are we arguing about? There's nothing to argue about. Then I had to go work one day and I told him, we had some friends coming over and I asked him, I'm a super clean freak, right? I love my house clean and fresh and I have candles on all now my body and Bath and Body Works candles. That's me. I need to smell the house nice and feel good. So I asked him, since you're home, if you could please tidy up the place, try your best. So when I come home, I don't have much to do. So when I came home, I didn't go downstairs. I went straight up to the bedroom and lo and behold, clothes everywhere, nothing is in order. And I just kind of like snapped a
Hello.
little.
Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
It
ahead.
was a
Go ahead.
disaster.
Go ahead.
So, of course, I snapped a little because I'm like, sir, 8 hours, seriously? And I know he was just Netflixing the whole time. I know it. He can't. You just know that look when they've just been on Netflix all day. You just know the look. You look extra happy because you got to finish that series, or you just extra hype, depending on the series. I couldn't deal with it, so I snapped a little, and then we
So
had a
this, so
little
this,
talk.
so this,
It is
so this is what we're
nasty,
doing. Okay. Okay.
but you know I'm telling the truth. So anyway,
This is what we're doing. Okay.
he started acting weird, and what he was trying to do, like sing calypso, and the lyrics was about me
No,
and my
no, no, no. You
attitude
see,
and
you
stuff.
see, you see, you see. Wait, go ahead. Go ahead. That was afterwards, but go ahead.
Anyway, it was annoying, but after a while, it was really funny, and I started laughing. And
I made a
that
whole
really kind of,
calypso. I made a whole calypso about her.
what was the lyrics like again? I can't remember.
I was saying that you like to give, but you can't take. You like to
Oh,
give, but you cannot take.
I
Listen,
like to
if
give,
I
but
went up for Carnival Calypso show, I'd win them. I'd win. I'm telling you, it was a good Calypso. I even had my horns and everything.
well, give it to the people. Do it again. Let me hear you.
I can't remember the
How does
lyrics now. It was a one-time performance.
Anyway, y'all could see why I was cracking up, right? That had me in stitches. I was just crying, laughing at the same time. And it kind of like just everything just died down. But the lyrics alone, she liked to give, but she liked to give what she can't take or whatever crap. And it had nothing to do with the situation. I was like, where did that come in now? And what it is that I have to give that I cannot take. Anything you need to give me too. Like give it to me. And then that went into a whole sexual joke and all kind of stuff. And he just, yeah, just he just went off.
Whatever.
So we didn't need a pastor. We didn't have to call a pastor to say, come and pray for us. We find like this marriage is not working. I didn't have to speak to my counselor. I didn't have to spend that $90 to speak to her just for an hour about that. Like go and make up and laugh about it and move on and let go of whatever that offense was. It's really not that serious, you know. And then when I went downstairs now, the living room, kitchen was spotless. But the thing is, I looked at upstairs and I judged the whole house based on what I saw upstairs. And that
You
is
will tell the
sometimes,
people that cook too. So you just want to skip over the fact, and you
oh,
want to
yeah,
tell the women of God in this chat that there was that it was chicken and there was rice that was cooked. You want to tell them that, right? Okay,
yeah,
good. All right,
actually,
go
he did
ahead.
cook. Yeah, he
Go
cooked,
ahead.
he cleaned up the house. It downstairs, it was clean, like spick and span. It was really neat. Just the bedrooms, he decided he wasn't gonna do anything with that because for him, nobody's coming in the bedroom. And I was like, sir, I don't clean my house for people. Like, please tidy up my living room, my bedroom, please. I thank you. Bless.
Nobody ain't coming in the bedroom. Anyway.
We have one more to go, and then you guys are free to go. Where is it?
Well,
Um,
actually, you have to do nine, but I guess you put nine, eight, and nine together.
Yeah, 8 and 9 can go together. Laughing at your husband's silly jokes will keep him talking. What do I mean by that? Sometimes I am in environments where the husband is trying to be funny and the wife doesn't think it's funny. She's like, okay. And that can really shut a man down, especially everybody else is laughing, but you're the only one. Like, what's your problem? Like, laugh. Even if you don't find it funny, just fake it. Just like, laugh, do something, but affirm him, make him feel comfortable about sharing. And, it's funny to him. He had a funny, some joke that happened on a job. He feels like it's funny. Laugh with him. Like, you do it with your kids. Half of our kids are not even funny, but we laugh at everything they do, right? We make them feel nice, right? And that is what you're supposed to do, even in marriage. And sometimes you also, he does it for you, so it's a win-win, you know. And you want to keep your husband talking because a lot of the complaints that I get from wives is that my husband, he doesn't say nothing, he doesn't talk to me, I don't know what he's thinking. But when you check the root of it, you've been killing the man's dreams the whole time. You've been bashing him, you've been sucking your teeth,
You've been not laughing.
you're not laughing, you're not affirming him. Listen, I don't care how deep all these pastors are out here on Facebook. When my husband shares something, I'm sharing it. I don't care. If my husband shares 10 times for the day and he tags me, I'm still sharing it. He's my husband, and what he has to say is more valuable than what anybody else has to say. That is my perspective. Okay? You guys want to put somebody else above your husband? God bless you. Continue doing that. Let's see how far you're going to go with that. But Charmaine Wilson, it ain't nobody more deeper than my husband. I'm going to clap for him. I'm going to stand up for him. Shoot. What's her name? TD Jake's wife.
Standing in an empty room.
Yeah, she was standing. There was a picture out there. She was standing in an empty room, and her husband was screaming. And everybody loves that, right? But the same way you love it is the same way you have to do it. Oh, she's such a great woman of God. Oh my God, she's so supportive of her husband. Yeah, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on, Marisha? What are you waiting on, Jackie? What are you waiting on, who else is in the room? Marika. What are you waiting on, Sharika? That is your responsibility. And then we can be vexed when somebody else does it to our husbands, and then we want to be like, wait. You don't be so praising up my husband like that more than me. Yeah, but this is the wrong time for you to try to do that because they met you not in position. You gotta be in the right position. I am right there. Wherever Darren Wilson is, I am there. He's in Stacia, whatever he's doing over there, you could show up there, even though I'm not there physically, but my presence is there, right? So that's
Fact.
that. Facts, and that's on period. I just love that
On,
period.
on period. I can be. I
Period.
can. I
That's on
can be.
period. Last but not least for tonight, choose quality over quantity, not just today, every day. Choose quality over quantity, not just today, every day. So you want to talk about that, babe?
Tell me again what? Sorry. I was looking for the
Choose
comment.
quality,
Oh.
choose quality over quantity every time.
Oh, but that's easy. Why it is you want to let me speak proper because my wife accuses me of speaking
Sorry,
improper and now my
sorry, babe.
son says
Jackie said that her husband is the funniest man in any room, and I laugh even when I don't get the joke. Yes.
but Jackie, you have to give StreamYard permission. I can't see you. I can't see your
Yes.
comments.
Jackie got to
But
come
then
out and click on the link to give StreamYard permission. But anyway, we're coming to the end of the live.
oh,
She'll have to do that next time again.
quality over quantity. I think many times in relationships, one of the things that we learned is that the quantity of what is being done is not as important as the quality of what is being done. Quantity could be in everything, anything from money to the frequency of the things that you do. But sometimes it's not in the amount of money you spend or the frequency of the activities that you engage in. But sometimes it's some simple as the quality of the time that is spent. Like I'm a very simple guy. My wife knows it. Anybody who knows me well knows it. I am extremely simple. You see where I am here right now? I have food, I have internet, and I have Netflix. I am the happiest camper ever.
And your
Like
Bible.
when I was
He
home
gotta
for the
have
2 weeks,
he gotta have
I
his Bible.
I and books, yeah. Books is yeah, but that's a given. I'm an author, so that I don't even have to mention that. But for me to be content, I don't need a lot, right? But what I do need is my family. Now, even though they're there, and I told her this already, I don't have to have conversation with you 24/7, 365, and then the next 2 weekends. I don't have to have that. But the fact that I know that y'all are there is enough for me. Like I just want to know that y'all are there. All right. I just need to know that. If I want to be next to you, or now and again I feel mischievous, I would go and trouble my son or trouble my wife. I That's me. I just love that. To me is quality. I don't have to have 15,000 conversations, never ending conversations. I don't have to have that. But if I'm watching Netflix, if I'm lying in my bed, I want to know I can stretch my hand over and touch my wife's butt. I want to be able to do that. That's quality for me. Now for her, maybe a
What's
different
quality?
story.
My butt or the touch? Which one?
The fact that I can reach over and touch it, that's a quality for me. All right, that's the time that's there. The time spent doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be exorbitant. It just has to be that quality time that I know is there. And that's it for me. It's not
Yeah,
about the money. It's not about how many events we could go to. Like 2 weeks I was home, we were out almost every night, and I was pissed. I ain't even lie to you. I was pissed.
yeah.
Was it?
He doesn't
I
like
was
that.
pissed. I didn't want to be out. I don't like that. I just want to be home. But my wife ain't like that, so I gotta compromise. She likes to be where every pound knock.
That's not true. Oh my gosh, are you gonna lie to the people like that? She's That's not true. Anyway,
No,
I'm
but
not
she
gonna even.
but she likes to entertain people. She likes to be a hostess. So I gotta roll with that sometimes. So it is. But anyway, but that's what it is for me. Sometimes it's the
Yeah,
quality, value the quality over the quantity. I hope that made sense to,
yeah.
to the people.
And
If you
for
want to
me, with
make it more
quality,
sense, make more sense. Go ahead.
yeah, no, it's pretty clear. But I wanted to touch on this point because this always gets wives um kind of like stagnant. And this is where celebrating events or occasions is concerned. I have a few friends, and some of them, their struggle is, and we've been there, and sometimes we are still there, where you don't necessarily always have the money. You're not financially there yet. And I think I need Marika to come on when we're tackling financial wealth. One of the months, we will send you all the calendars and everything with what we're going to be talking about per month. But a lot of wives feel like, you know what, I don't have the money to really kind of like celebrate my husband or celebrate my marriage the way how I see some people doing it. Some people look at us, for example, and what we've been doing recently with the anniversary challenge, and they sometimes reach out to me, hey Charmaine, you know what, how much did this cost to do this? I want to do that, but I don't have the money. And I'm like, listen, what do you have? Do you have a house? Yeah. You have food, you have chicken wings? Girl, you better go fry some chicken wings and get a dip, get a good movie, get a candle, open up that door, dim them lights, get
Chicken
some
wings,
nice
really?
pajamas, take a good shower, get your hair done probably, put a nice lipstick and a nice body mist, and you're good. You hear me? That is a beautiful date. And you can just probably go on your porch, get a nice comforter or something, put it down on the ground and set a nice picnic out there. You do you.
Quality.
My husband could tell you, I am not talking what I think I know. I'm telling you the life I live. We have literally had date nights with McDonald's.
Ice
You
cream.
remember this?
Not even a meal. McDonald's ice cream.
McDonald's ice cream, like the $1 ice cream. Okay. We've had date nights like that. We've had anniversaries like that where we celebrated the whole weekend. One night, or the first night, we could have gone to Mark's Place. For those of you on the islands in Martin, you know where Mark's Place is. It's pretty affordable. Mark's place. Then the next morning, we go and get Carl and Sons. I bring that home, fix it up on my plate. You would swear that we went to some fancy breakfast restaurant, right?
Carlton's breakfast is good.
And the most outing we could have done was probably go to the movies and not even buy a hot dog because it was too expensive. So I'm even gonna let you know what I did. Don't repeat this. I would walk with my little drinks and my little snacks in my bag. Y'all know y'all are not supposed to be walking with y'all snacks in the people movie theater. But I would put my little snacks in my bag and listen. We having the time of our life.
This woman,
After that,
you had
we
to
go
say
for
that.
we go for they can't judge me now. There's COVID. Nobody can judge me now. It's God, right? And then we'll go for a walk on the beach or take a drive around the island with our ice cream that we bought for $1 at McDonald's. And that was our date because we valued quality over quantity. But if
Yep.
you are not going to celebrate your man, you're going to let a whole anniversary pass just because you don't have what? Money? Then you've missed it.
Yeah. I remember telling this to some other people we were speaking to. Don't ever let the season determine the celebration. If you allow the season to determine the celebration, then you're going to always be operating uh, from a standpoint of catching up. But if you learn to celebrate despite the season, then when the season changes, you know you can you there, there is you know that you can always celebrate. If you leave the celebration up to the season, then when the season is over, you wouldn't know how to celebrate after that. But if you learn to celebrate despite the season, then when that particular tough season ends, you will know how to celebrate. You will still be able to celebrate because there is something to celebrate. But if you don't do it, when you're out the season, it's gonna be tough because you didn't discipline yourself on recognizing the celebration. It's all
That's
about the
good.
celebration. It's not about the situation. It's about the celebration. All right, and that's quality because then you're valuing quality, which is the celebration itself, over the quantity, the season that you are in, which you are allowing to dictate the terms of your celebration. Yeah.
That's good,
So
babe.
go ahead.
Love it, love it, love it. So
That's it.
we
That's number 10.
that's it. That's number 10. We have 10 more to go. Maybe we come back before the week is out. I have to check with my schedule, check with my husband's schedule. Babe, you sure you're gonna come back with me? Don't
I
lie
think
to
it
the
was fun. This was actually fun. I didn't think I would enjoy it, but this was actually kind of cool.
yeah, this is good. Thank you, ladies. Can you all please, you can't share the live, but you can go on YouTube and please share the link. Please leave a caption. Please tag someone. We really want to reach more wives this year. That's a part of our goals for this year. And we can't do so if you don't share the content. So go on YouTube, catch up on all the videos, and most importantly, tonight video. We need you to share it, tag me, let me know what you thought about it, what you learned, or if you just want to share it, just share it. It's just fine, just share it. But let's get the views up, let's get the numbers up. For those of you that have
Yep.
YouTube
Yep.
pages, you know what it means to get the numbers up. It's a quantity game on YouTube.
For this one here, we're dealing with quantity. The
Yeah,
quality is always the
but
quality is always up to standard. But this one here, this right here, we need quantity.
but I think the content is quality as well. So it's still both. Yeah, we're gonna get both ways. But
Yeah.
I love you, ladies. Precious, thank you. Roslyn, all of you ladies, thank you for being on and see you soon and stick with us 2021.
Yep.
Bye.
Look out for part two. We're gonna well, I'm not, but she's Charmaine, my wife, my own wife. She's gonna keep you updated with whenever we come back on. So keep it stacked and share it. When you as soon as you see it come up, share it. Okay? Share it. The link is on YouTube. It's going to be available. So go ahead and share that and be a part. This is my endorsement as a husband, seeing all the work that she's putting in. Be a part of this community. This is something that your future self will thank you for being a part of. I guarantee it. Not just your future self, but your daughters, your sons, your husband, and you, everybody that you're in contact with, your immediate circle, they'll all thank you for being a part of this community because it's about becoming better, not
Yes.
bitter.
And we have Tamara in the chat
I see
saying
somebody
hi.
say hello from the 242. So we have the Bahamas in the house. Really?
Yes.
242?
Yes. Good to see you, Tamara. I think I know Tamara. Tamara's she's a part of we're gonna hear a lot more about Wife Her Ministry. My dear friend there, Zemi
Zemi?
Stewart, she's doing
Yes.
an amazing job conversation. Huh?
I didn't say anything. You could continue.
You were saying something? So,
No, I
yeah.
wasn't saying anything.
So we're gonna hear more about her. This year we're doing a lot of partnerships, and there are a lot of great wife communities out there for wives. So listen, Wife Her Ministry, if you haven't followed that yet, go on YouTube, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, follow them. Tamara is on there sometimes. I've seen her, done some work there. Amazing. And those of you who are in our last what do you call that masterclass, our last masterclass in 2020, then you would have known about Zemi, and she did an amazing job teaching us how to become better wives in terms of respect towards our husbands. So yeah. Anyway, love you, ladies. God bless you.
You
Mwah.
all. Bye bye.
Bye.